Unlike a still photograph, a video clip does not record a single moment in time, but rather a period of time, perhaps a few seconds, perhaps a few minutes, or even longer. As a result, you might find yourself sometimes anticipating action and starting recording your video a little bit earlier than you really need to, and you might record the video a little bit longer than you really need to. Regardless of the reasons, at times you might want to trim the video to remove a little from the front and the back end of the video, for example. In this case, I have a video captured at Bosque del Apache in New Mexico, and this is just after the geese had taken off right before sunrise. And when the video starts, there's not a lot of activity. There's not that many birds in the frame, but things start to get more interesting about midway through, and then eventually things start to peter out a little bit, and you can see that most of the birds leave the frame. And so this video might be a little more interesting and a little more useful if I remove a portion from the beginning and the end of the video. I'll start off with the beginning of the video. I'll move the slider over toward the left, and then I'll start playing back the video. And right about there, things start to get interesting. In fact, maybe I'll scrub to the left just a little bit so that I'll start the video before the birds really start to enter the frame. So right now, my slider is positioned where I'd like the video to actually start, which is about 1 second into the actual video itself. I'll then bring up the trim controls, so I'll click the gear icon over at the far right of the controls. You can see that the slider is still in place. I now also have a vertical bar associated with it, but over at the far left I have a handle, and I can drag this handle in order to trim the video, in this case to remove a portion of the beginning of the video, and I can drag that right over to the marker, to that handle that I used in order to locate exactly where I'd like to trim the video. Now, I don't have to use the marker as the basis of that trim. For example, I could simply click and drag the right handle in order to trim the end of the video, but then I'm sort of guessing as to how much of the video is going to be included. So I'll leave that handle over at its starting position, and then I'll grab the slider and move it over toward the right end, the end of the video itself. And right about there, things start to feel pretty thin in the sky with those birds, so I'll set the marker there and then grab the handle and drag it over to the left in order to trim the right portion of the video, the end of the video clip. Now, if I drag that handle over to the left, you'll see that it stops automatically based on that trim. So now if I play back the video, it will only play the portion that I actually trimmed. And in fact, if I export or otherwise share this video via Lightroom, it will also only export or share the portion of the video that is included after the trimming. So you can see here that I now have a trimmed video, a little bit more interesting, less clutter at the beginning and end. I'll go ahead and click that gear icon in order to hide the controls, and now every time I play this video clip back, I will only see the trimmed version, which in this case is about 17 seconds of video rather than about 20 seconds.